What does Vietnam want from the US in the South China Sea? Despite seeking a balance between the superpowers, Vietnam desires more robust security ties with Washington. As the incoming Biden administration formulates its South China Sea strategy, one regional partner that looms large is Vietnam. Over the last few years, tensions between China and Vietnam in the South China Sea have remained high, impacting fishing and natural resource exploration in disputed waters. While the Biden administration is likely to continue the positive momentum in bilateral ties, it is less clear what specifically Hanoi seeks from Washington to help it effectively deter Beijing. This is wholly understandable. As I have recently examined at length in a RAND research report, Vietnam is doubling down on its delicate balancing act as US-China competition throughout the Indo-Pacific dramatically heats up. Although Hanoi feels compelled to counter China bad behavior in the South China Sea, it also understands that its future is inextricably tied to peaceful relations with Beijing. Thus, Hanoi typically avoids publicly airing policy preferences, and even privately, the Vietnamese are notoriously subtle and difficult to read. That leaves Washington in the dark most of the time. But through my research and discussions with Vietnamese interlocutors over the years, a few policy preferences have become apparent. First, Vietnam was quite pleased with Secretary of State Mike Pompeo's statement on July 13 in which he announced the U.S. would not respect Beijing maritime claims derived from disputed features in the Spratly Islands, Scarborough Shoal, Laconia Shoals, and Natuna Bezer. Prior to that moment, Washington policy of maintaining the integrity of maritime counterclaimants exclusive economic zones EEZs over China expansive line claims had been an open secret, but Pompeo announcement for the first time confirmed it. His statement coincided with the 4th anniversary of the Philippines' arbitration victory over China on their disputes, and Washington reaffirmed its support for this legal decision, which essentially invalidated Beijing's entire approach to sovereignty claims in the South China Sea. Following Pompeo's announcement, Vietnam probably felt just a little more confident that the U.S. planned to support Hanoi in defending Spratly Island claims within its EEZ. Significantly, Washington specifically highlighted Vanguard Bank, the scene of the last major China-Vietnam standoff in 2019, as indisputably part of Vietnam EEZ. A Biden administration decision to reiterate this policy stance would be greatly appreciated in Hanoi. But Vietnam certainly seeks more, particularly in the Paracel Islands, where China in 1996 declared strait baselines, that is, internal Chinese waters between Paracel features, and in April extended administrative control over the Paracels and Spratlys from Santa City on Woody Island, the largest island in the Paracels. If the Biden team issued a similar statement that refused to recognize Chinese sovereignty over the waters pertaining to the Paracel archipelago, and even better, the territory itself, then Hanoi would likely be overjoyed. Finally, as the Biden administration takes the reins, it might want to consider re-engaging with Vietnam on upgrading the U.S.-Vietnam Comprehensive Partnership to a strategic partnership. Doing so would send a clear message to China that Vietnam has a strong backer in the U.S., and probably unlock deeper security cooperation. As early as 2011, Vietnam floated the idea, but nothing has happened since then for unknown reasons. The Biden administration, however, will have a unique opportunity to discuss this possibility with new Vietnamese leaders following the Vietnamese Communist Party 13th Party Congress, set to take place this month. Depending on who emerges from the Party Congress, they may possess the political capital needed to make such a decision. Regardless, Vietnam is likely to increasingly look for support from the U.S. to help it push back against China in the South China Sea. The Biden administration should look to capitalize on these opportunities while coordinating its efforts across allies and partners, namely like-minded partners such as Australia, India, and Japan that can complement U.S. assistance.